How do you transition from preference categories to the immediate relative category? My name's Erick Widman, and I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer and the founder of Passage Immigration Law. The landscape of United States immigration law is complex, with various pathways and categories that can often be confusing for applicants. Among these, the transition from preference categories to the immediate relative category is a critical shift that can significantly impact the immigration process. This video aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of this transition, its implications, and the steps involved. Understanding preference and immediate relative categories. First, it's essential to understand the distinction between preference and immediate relative categories. Preference categories include family-sponsored preferences, F1, F2A, F2B, F3, F4, and employment-based preferences, which are EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5. These are all subject to numerical limitations and often have significant waiting periods due to visa backlogs. Immediate relative categories, on the other hand, are for immediate relatives of U.S. citizens. These include spouses, unmarried children under 21, and parents of U.S. citizens who are 21 or older. One of the most significant advantages of immediate relative categories is that they are not subject to annual numerical limits, thus leading to shorter processing times. Transitioning from preference categories to immediate relative categories. The transition usually occurs due to changes in the applicant's family relationships with U.S. citizen. The most common scenarios include, number one, marriage to a U.S. citizen. Non-citizen spouses of U.S. citizens. You can transition from a preference category to an immediate relative category, and this shift nearly always accelerates the green card process. Number two, turning 21 years of age. Contrary to some misconceptions, when a child of a U.S. citizen turns 21, they do not remain in the immediate relative category. Instead, they age out and typically transition to the first preference category, F1, for unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. This category, unfortunately, usually has longer wait times due to visa quotas and backlogs. Number three, naturalization of the petitioner. If the petitioner, the one who filed the immigrant petition, becomes a U.S. citizen, beneficiaries in certain family preference categories can shift to an immediate relative category. What are the steps to transition? The transition process usually involves several steps. Number one, update of the petition status. If the status changes, becoming a U.S. citizen, for example, they should inform the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services bureaucracy, USCIS, immediately. This is usually done by submitting proof of the new status, such as a naturalization certificate. Number two, adjustment of status application. If the beneficiary is already in the U.S., they may be able to file for an adjustment of status to a lawful permanent resident using Form I-485 after the category change. Number three, consular processing. If the beneficiary is outside the U.S., they'll need to undergo consular processing. This involves attending a visa interview at a U.S. embassy or consulate in their home country. Number four, legal and documentation requirements. The applicant must provide all necessary documentation, including marriage certificates, birth certificates, and proof of the petitioner's U.S. citizenship. What are some challenges and considerations? While transitioning can expedite the immigration process, it's not without challenges. Applicants must navigate extensive paperwork, legal complexities, and potential delays. Also, any change in circumstances, such as divorce, or the petitioner's death can affect eligibility. Overall, transitioning from preference categories to the immediate relative category nearly always offers a faster route to U.S. residency. However, the U.S. government always manages to make the process confusing and often frustrating. Contact our law firm and let us know if you have any questions. Good luck and take care.